Rumble is red, Frenzy is blue, and thus lightning strikes me in this toy review. Well, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but okay. Mostly freshly washed off bass, new theme music, and of course, new background music for the entirety of the review. How brilliant. Now then, I'm fairly certain I've made no secret of the fact that I love tokusatsu. I mean, it's been in several of my opening gags, it's also been in my first episode ever. Like, even last episode when I compared Repugnance's alt mode to the monsters from Kamen Rider Kabuto. And in fact, it's been so much of an inspiration that I'm starting to write a webcomic that's been heavily based on Kamen Rider. Like, seriously, a lot of the stuff I do outside of YouTube is based around Kamen Rider. Like, my new comic that I'm working on right now. Stay tuned and subscribe so you get more details on that. Now then, if your familiarity with Toku is on the level of mine, which is to say moderate, then you're probably aware of the Big Five of Toku. We have Ultraman and Godzilla, as well as Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, and of course, tattooed teenage alien players from Beverly Hills. What the fuck? And call me crazy, but it seems as though Sentai and Godzilla are the only two that really left their impact on the West. Now, don't get me wrong, Garo is awesome, and I'd love to freaking dedicate an entire video to talking about it, if it weren't for the fact that it's a hard R tokusatsu series from Japan, which frequently has naked titty in it. So that ain't happening. And of course, Kamen Rider had two adaptations as well in the vein of Power Rangers. The first one, which we don't like to speak about, by which I of course mean that reality itself really needs to start a smear campaign against Farmass! There have been plenty of other American Toku gems, like Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, in which Pennywise the Dancing Clown voices a computer virus that's trying to take over the world by convincing an otaku to create monsters on MS Paint. We had VR Troopers, Big Bad Beetleborgs, and Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog, which was a thing until Power Rangers Lost Galaxy stole its Battle Thunder. That brings us back to the matter at hand, Power Rangers. Call me crazy, but for the past 9-ish years, it seems to have been in a bit of a slump. There ain't no way around it. Of course, the Saban era had Power Rangers Turbo, though in retrospect, people have decided that's actually a lot better than they first said it was. Then in Disney era, we had Power Rangers Mystic Force, or Mestic Force. And of course, we had Power Rangers Operation Overdrive, which was unfortunately the first season I ever managed to watch in whole, but we won't focus on that because really, Operation Overdrive is a bit of a shit season. Then, of course, after the godsend that was RPM, we got, of course, Power Rangers, but shiter, in 2010. Then we had Power Rangers Samurai, and that kicked off the Neo Saban era, aka where everything started to go really downhill, if you know what I mean. We had like 4 years of unmitigated crap from Power Rangers Samurai to Super Mega Force. Then we had some actually fairly decent adventures in Dino Charge, only to have it surprisingly flop spectacularly in Power Rangers Dino Charge. Now, of course, the past 2 seasons weren't that bad, Power Rangers Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel, but let's be real, they were super boring. Though the past 6 seasons have given me some of my favorite Blue Rangers ever. And we also had the amazing movie from Lionsgate, and it's honestly a cinematic tragedy that it was a flop financially. Like it or not, a radical reinvention of the show was necessary, and that's when the first of the 2 bombshells hit us in the face. After a quarter century of producing toys for Saban, Bandai was ousted from the Power Rangers brand. And in all honesty, I have to say good riddance. Then the second nuke hit us right in the face. Hasbro bought out Power Rangers in its entirety, along with the rights to create the show, and so far, they're doing a fan-freaking-tastic job making Beast Morphers. And of course, with all that being said, it's time to focus on what Hasbro brought to the table to replace the SH Figuart and Legacy Collection lines. The Lightning Collection! Not again. Also, one other thing I should probably mention about Beast Morphers. The Yellow Ranger and I come from the same state. How cool is that? Now then, of course, I'd love a Lightning Collection figure of Roxy, but unfortunately, so far it's only Nate, Ravi, and Devin, I believe, that have action figures on the Lightning line. So as an impulse purchase, I of course decided to pick up the Red Ranger figure. And oh, sweet heavens to Betsy, is this thing a masterpiece? I sincerely mean that. This thing motivated me to make a video on it. I don't want to get too deep into my creative process, but really, this thing inspired me in a way that most action figures can't. Like, even the Leader Optimus Prime that I got a few weeks ago and promised everyone a review on, well, A, I can't do a review on that because that's home, and B, I didn't really find it as inspiring as this figure was. And man, oh man, is this guy ever full of posability. In fact, here are a few pictures of him now. And something else I'd like to draw your attention to, look here at his arms. You see this wrinkle in the shirt? That's actually a disguised ratchet joint. How ingenious is that? Disguising the ratchet joints as folds in the clothing. That's brilliant. I'd also like to bring your attention to his vest here, which has his badge perfectly sculpted and imperfectly painted. Same with his morpher. It's perfectly sculpted, but imperfectly painted. Unfortunately, this guy doesn't really have a place where you can plug in a figure stand for aerial poses, but I'm pretty sure if you got like a claw thingy for a figure stand, you could pose him in the air. Anyway, speaking of poses, let's cover some of his accessories, because those add to the number of poses you can give him. Now then, in the range of stuff that matters as far as posability is concerned in accessories, we have alternate hands, or rather hand. Yeah, each of the Lightning figures comes with like just a single hand, alternate hand for each side of the figure. Like, in this case, he's got one grasping sword with a very loose wrist, and a stop in the name of love hand. And with this in hand, no pun intended, we can of course make him look as though he is ready. Oh god, this looks so wrong. It looked like he's trying to fart in the enemy's general direction. Well, oh god, this looks so wrong. Oh yeah, right, I should probably mention, you can actually slide up the bottom of the jacket on this figure. Though why you want to get a better look at Rory Travis's taint and buttocks, I have no idea. Speaking of Rory Travis. Holy shit. Speaking of Rory Travis. Look, guys, I seriously mean no offense to Hasbro here, but why? Why with these alternate Lightning Collection faces? They're just awful! I know a lot of them aren't too bad, like, especially not Doggy Kruger's. His looks fantastic. But this? God, there's a certain soulless quality to them that just makes me kind of uncomfortable. I don't understand why they couldn't have just ditched this head and just gave more alternate hands. Though, on the plus side, I guess, you do get some additional poses where he's holding the helmet, but it ain't worth it. So yeah, suffice it to say, I am smitten with the Lightning Collection. I honestly hope that I get more figures from the series. Long may the Lightning Collection reign, for the legacy has fallen, and from its ashes has arisen a new, powerful series of figures. Anyways, this figure rocks. And in fact, I'd go so far as to say it's electric. Oh dear God, not again! Anyways, like the video, share it with your friends, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and of course, click the notification bell. Ugh. Ugh. Oh God. After all, I've endured 3 bolts of lightning indoors today on an absolutely gorgeous day outside. I don't see how coping can do any worse to me.